this is travelling in fog. We've just gone over the wake of a boat that we can't see physically, but we can see them on the radar. We never intend on travelling through fog, but sometimes it's just unavoidable. We spend the majority of our time operating out of our home port of Havelock in the Marlborough Sounds at the top of the South Island of New Zealand. Either side of winter, we tend to get lots of fog that often doesn't lift until the late morning or even the early afternoon. Because of the shallow nature of the Havelock Channel and our nearly 1.5 metre draft, we can only get into the marina in and around the high tide. This can be very challenging on those days like this when the fog is thick, but we still need to get back to port. On this particular trip we were short on hands as Haylee, Max and Maya were not on board. We had organised a pre-arranged time to meet them at the marina around high tide so that they could help us into their berth in the event of there being high winds. The lack of cell phone coverage in most of the sounds also meant it was hard to communicate. We were blanketed in fog, so we just had to press on. I was operating the boat from the lower helm so that I could utilise the radar on the Simrad system, which you can see here on the lower right quarter of the screen with the land in red. Normally I prefer to drive from the upper helm so that I have good visibility for logs in the waters ahead, but when it's foggy, it's time to fire up the radar. For the first part of the journey, the fog wasn't too low down, so we had decent visibility and we could make good time, even against the tide. Thankfully, we had made the call to set up for the lower helm operation. The fog closed in and dropped down to sea level as we rounded the Kenepuru heads. This meant very low visibility and the complete reliance on the radar to keep an eye out for other boats. So we can't see the boat except on the radar. Now we can feel it. So somewhere out there, the boat has just gone past. Just off to our starboard somewhere. Ah, the joys. So this is travelling in fog. We've just gone over the wake of a boat that we can't see physically, but we can see them on the radar. It is so thick out there, and this is sort of part of the course this time of the year, thick fog. But it is quite unnerving. Because of the nature of the Havelock Channel, I always operate the boat from the upper helm in preparation for docking, which meant Sophia had to watch the radar down below and relay to me over the headsets if there were other boats around us. As you can see here, this little boat approaches out of nowhere at quite a speed and passes by us on the wrong side of the channel. They had clearly not seen us until it was too late for them to correct their course. Navigating in the fog takes a while to get used to, as you are literally blind to everything around you. With two big V8 Caterpillars purring away in the background, it is also hard to hear other boats approaching. The scary aspect to it is not having to rely on the radar. That is awesome, but knowing that there are potentially other small boats travelling a whole lot faster around you without radar. As we leave the fog behind us, sit back and relax, enjoy the music and enjoy a peaceful entry into the Havelock Marina under quite ideal conditions with low wind. berth with no wind is quite a luxury and something that doesn't happen that often for us. And it was also a great opportunity to test out our new rope setup, which hopefully in the long term means much easier docking and less people required in order to handle all of the lines and get us safely on the berth. Thankfully Haylee was here to meet us and help Sophia out as she got to grips with where all of the new lines are positioned. Top off a great trip, nothing better to see Max on the dock, excited, having missed everyone, ready to give his big sister and big brother a big hug. How sweet. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.